Hey everyone, how we doing out there today? This is the Flip Flop Investor Show, and I am your host, Todd Bayer, the Flip Flop Investor himself. For those of you that are unfamiliar with us, we get together every week and talk about real estate investing. Here in the Inland Empire, I usually bring on a guest who has some kind of experience in real estate, and we talk about what they do, what got them into this crazy world, and maybe they throw in some surprises or two. I don't know. We'll find out. But today, I have a guest of ours. His name is Cesar Roldan. How you doing, Cesar?
I am well. Thank you, Todd.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you're well. Cesar, I will put out there right now, is going to be the host of the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club Cash Flow Game, which is typically going to be on the first Wednesday of every month at the Round Table Pizza in Highland. But because the first Wednesday of July is the 4th of July, we're actually going to do it the following Tuesday in July. So that's July 11th.
July 11th, 6 p.m.
6 p.m., and that'll be at the Round Table out in Highland. So for those of you that have never played Cash Flow, this is a board game created by Robert Kiyosaki. And, if anybody out there has heard of Robert Kiyosaki, he's the author of Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which there are just so many people I know in this industry who read that book, and that was like the catalyst to get them into real estate investing in the first place. So, and I know you're one of the people too. You read Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Sure did.
But you were doing like commodities trading at that time.
Back in the days, yes.
Yeah, so a little different, but I mean similar, right? Buy low, sell high. Isn't that the idea? It's that simple, folks. There you go. We're done for the day. No, buy low, sell high. No, so Robert Kiyosaki invented this board game called Cash Flow, where the idea is you're a rat and you're trying to get out of the rat race, and you're playing this game, and it starts you off with like a profession. So you're a doctor, or you're an airline pilot.
I like to be the janitor.
The janitor's the best one, because you always win if you're the janitor for some weird reason.
You have a higher chance of winning, yes.
Yes, you do. But you also have to play your cards right, of course. But Cesar, you've played the game a bunch of times,
yes,
right? So you know how to play it, and so the idea is to kind of get people to think outside the box. Mm-hmm. Most people buy houses. They think the way to buy a house is to, put down cash, get a mortgage loan on it, and there it is. You bought a house. But that's one way, and there's so many other ways to buy houses. Right. So cash flow helps you kind of realize some of those non-standard, non-traditional ways of buying houses.
Yeah, there's just so many different strategies that you can implement to get into a house. So
yeah, and so when you play, this will be your, because you kind of hosted it last month. Mm-hmm. But you kind of co-hosted it with Lisa.
Right.
So this month you're going to be kind of doing it solo, right?
Correct.
So, what sort of strategies, or how do you teach the game or play the game differently than how Lisa played it?
Well, one of the things is that we have to understand that the game is a educational tool.
It is.
And to use it as such, we have to make sure that people are understanding that that's what it is. One of the biggest things about the game is like whatever car you drive. The car that you drive now, you never noticed it before you purchased it out on the road. Mm-hmm. But once you bought it, it's like you see it at every corner. You've seen it every time you were driving. So that's what the game does. It actually begins to allow you to see a lot of the opportunities, strategies, and real estate investing. So we want people to walk away from the game knowing and understanding that it's a tool. It's an educational tool.
And it's fun too.
It is fun.
And I mean, I don't know. I love Round Table Pizza. That's kind of like my kryptonite. I love pizza. So
yeah.
But yeah, you get some food, and for those of you that like beer, they got some beer there.
They do.
So it's kind of fun. It's just a little adult game night in a way. I guess you could bring your kids, but
you can, because they do have a children's section in there. But we are going to be having our own private room, so it's going to be really good. The line is going to be a lot better, and the acoustics is going to be great. So it's going to be good.
Acoustics are important. We found that out because you went to the coffee thing last Saturday,
mm-hmm.
and we've been through a few different coffee places.
Yeah.
And it's cool and hip to have like polished concrete floors and like nothing on your walls and just huge giant windows.
Yep.
But what that creates is a very echoey room.
Yes.
And it's like impossible to hear anybody when you have like 20 people in the room. It's
right.
So I think they probably have carpet in this room, and there's probably stuff on the walls to kind of minimize any echo. So that'll be a good environment for playing the game. So it is a tool. I know that we've gone through the game a bunch of different times where, you start off with these small deals and you're trying to do these little things, and maybe you get presented with a stock opportunity or something like that, which don't take those. That's not how the game's designed. But we eventually people start getting kind of more gutsy and they start playing the
Right.
big deals,
Yeah.
and that's where you really start getting out of the rat race faster. So I don't know, it's fun. I've played it a few times. You've probably played it more times than I have, honestly.
Okay.
But it's a fun game, and we're going to be there. I'll be there July 11th.
Oh, cool.
That's my plan anyway, unless anything changes. But I'm putting it out there live on the radio now, so now I got to go.
Hold you accountable, of course.
Yeah. So I guess let's kind of change pace a little bit. That's the cash flow game. We'll talk about all the other events we got going on later on, but I kind of want to talk about you. Like, who is Cesar Roldan? Like, what got you here? We were, you were doing commodities trading, so
Right.
You were kind of already doing something outside of the box. Like, what got you into real estate after that?
Well, I mean, who Cesar Roldan is, I actually have to take it way back to my childhood.
Okay, go back to childhood. I like this.
I was born in Mexico, and one of the most courageous people that I know is my mom.
Okay.
Because I was about 8 years old. My sister was 4 years old, and my mom actually left the country, left us behind with our grandparents, and she came out here looking for a better opportunity for us. And a year later, she came back. She picked us up right on my birthday to come back to the U.S. after she had a job, and she had an apartment, and she was living here with my dad. So it was so then we came back over here a year later. Now, I use that example or go back that far because that taught me to adapt. Coming here without knowing the language, without knowing the culture, without a whole different country, it was all we had to do was adapt. I don't even remember the transition of learning the English language.
Really?
It just we just had to.
Yeah.
So we did, and that just taught us to do that. Early on, my parents were actually flippers, but not property flippers. What they would do is they would go on the other side of the tracks, if you may, and buy a lot of baby stuff at yard sales.
Okay.
They would buy cribs and strollers and high chairs and things like that. They will bring it into the house. We will clean it up. We will make it spotless, and then we'll go to another neighborhood and sell them. So for 3 weeks, we'll buy and clean, and 1 week out of the month, we'll actually sell.
Yeah.
And we'll be flipping. We'll be making about $3,000 a weekend, which was pretty good for the family.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I think I might get out of what I'm doing.
Right?
Yeah, I might start doing this.
If we would have kept doing that, we probably would have ended up with the storage wars. Buying storages and doing all that stuff because that's what we were doing.
Hey, I know a guy with a truck, man. We could get this going.
Right. So that began to teach me the entrepreneur skills and stuff of dealing with people, buying stuff at a discounted, and in a sense, flipping it. So how we got into real estate was that for the last 10 years, we've been building a church, a local church. We've been co-building it, and we've doing the outreaches, being in schools, giving away backpacks, giving away food and groceries, and giving away bikes and toys for Christmas and things like that. Those were all good, but it's just not enough. There's so much need in the Inland Empire and San Bernardino that it just wasn't enough. Tithes and offerings wasn't covering all the needs of the community.
Right, yeah.
So watching TV and seeing these numbers of people flipping homes and seeing the profit that they could potentially make, we're like, we don't need much to live off of, but our community needs a lot. So we decided to get into real estate. We started studying. We started looking into it. We bought a program. That program opened up our eyes, introduced us to the cash flow game. And now that we're learning, we're eager to teach and, take people on the same journey that we're taking to financial freedom.
So, yeah, that was the quick story, I guess, right there. So you grew up you grew up what, in San Bernardino?
Actually, when we first came, we came to Redlands.
Okay.
We lived in Redlands, then we went to Loma Linda, then we went to Highland, and then San Bernardino. Yeah.
Okay. And so you went to high school in San Bernardino?
Right.
Yeah.
San Gregorio High.
San Gregorio.
Spartans, yes.
Oh, yeah. Nice. Yeah, we played them a couple times, in high school.
Probably lost, right? Yeah.
No way. I don't think we ever lost. Yeah, so so you grew up here. What was your plan like after high school? Like when you were in high school, what were your goals at that point in life?
Didn't have any. Got out of high school. I'm the oldest out of four. And, being the oldest and my parents being immigrants to this country, there wasn't that much aspiration other than just go to school, get good grades, and when you get older and you become a professional, you buy me a house. That's what my parents will tell us, right? So we really didn't have much aspirations of what we wanted to do. After I got out of high school, I opened up a business. So I was a photographer. I did photography for a long time and did the studio thing, did the gigs, quinceañeras, weddings, and things like that. So that's what we wanted to do. We opened up a business that went on for like 2 years, and then I had my daughter. My daughter was born. Then I decided, I need to go back to school. Went for my bachelor's degree, and actually I stopped halfway through it.
Okay.
And just kind of disappeared. Started working warehouse jobs and things like that. And after I got married with my now wife, it's got settled down. I went back to finish my degree. Been building the church for 10 years. Actually, that was probably the most committed thing I ever did, right? Was building the church. And now we just said, you know what? We built a foundation of character, of integrity, and discipline. So now we can actually branch off into a solid business, and that's what we're doing now.
So, and you got inspired by watching one of the shows on TV, right? The Flip or Flop show.
Flip or Flop, yeah.
Yeah, the Tarek and Christina show. For those
Correct.
people, that have never seen it. I don't know. There's so many people that have seen these shows, but I guess some people have never seen these or heard of them. But
right.
So yeah, on these shows, they flip houses, and so
Right.
and they're based out of Yorba Linda. So
Yorba Linda, yeah.
So they've actually done stuff kind of all in the Inland Empire.
Yeah, I seen an ad from Tarek saying that he's looking for investment properties here in San Bernardino. So I was like, okay, so something is happening out here.
Yeah, he's got something on Facebook right now. I saw floating around the other day.
Yeah.
So you saw like a show on TV. Did you just like happen to catch it, or like what?
No, we had been watching it for a while. We had been seeing a lot of these shows. The one in Texas too, another couple out there who's doing flips like that too. But we had been seeing them, and it was just casual. We just looked at, seeing the rehab of a home and reviving a neighborhood and things like that. But it really opened up the opportunity in the mind to say, you know what, that's possible for us. We can do that. So
then what did you do? Like, what was the next step after seeing these shows on TV? Because I know there's a lot of people I've talked to. They've seen the shows. They would love to do it, but
right.
I mean, what's the next logical step? What did you do like after you saw this, like to start working this direction?
So the first thing I did is we got the internet, so I started searching.
Okay.
I started reading. I started watching videos. I started seeing how true those numbers were, and just by doing research, as I was doing my research, I bumped into Rich Dad Poor Dad, its coaching program.
Okay.
And I was familiar with that because I had read the book in the past, and that's the only two things that I can think of that really made sense. So okay, I read the book. Now there's this coaching program along with the game, and it was almost like, the heavens opened up and said, oh, this is happening. So I put all ones together, and I was like, okay, let me dig deeper into that, and just researching it, reading, studying more about it.
And you ended up going to the coaching program. You ended up going like a seminar.
No, we actually purchased it online.
Okay.
And what that was, it was a weekly group session with a coach for about 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Sometimes it went up to 3 hours. But they also gave you the materials. They gave you a bunch of study work that you would kind of like study the material and then review it with the coach. And then they kind of guaranteed you that you will get into your first investment property within a year.
Wow.
So, opened up a lot of possibilities for us.
And have you been doing it for a year now, or like how long have you been doing it?
I'm almost at a year now. I think we're like 3 months apart.
And have you gotten a deal yet?
No, but what we did do is we actually got the opportunity to rent out our primary residence.
Okay.
So we didn't buy a house yet, but we did have, I guess, the mind change to understand that we can rent out our primary home and be able to make cash flow off of that, and we are.
So that's good. It's kind of a deal,
Yeah.
and kind of a cash flow, sort of type of deal. So that's cool.
So I can say that I'm an investor now.
Of course you can. I mean, anybody at any time in their life can just say I'm an investor and start working that way. That's kind of how I did it. I had read Rich Dad Poor Dad as well, and I think there was something in that book that said like you have to own what you're doing, so you have to start introducing yourself to people as a real estate investor, and so I don't know if it was that book or not. It might have been another one, but yeah, I just started telling people like I'm a real estate investor. That's what I do, and even though I had never done anything and didn't know anything about what I was doing, but I just kind of started calling myself that, and now it's a reality. So but now I want to call myself something else because I'm more than just a real estate investor now. But so going through the coaching program, and this isn't like a sales pitch for them or anything, because I have some hesitations about like mentor programs, coaching programs, because there's usually a pretty high price point to get into these things, and and they're they can make you feel like you're gonna get something out of it, but in reality, you may not actually end up getting something out of it. So it's it requires a lot of effort. Obviously, you have to work your butt off to actually get a deal. It is a full-time job.
Yes.
And I'm kind of curious what you think. Like, how beneficial were those like mentor like gatherings and when you got together with the group?
It was very beneficial because not knowing much about real estate and how to invest in real estate, it just really broadened our horizon. It expanded our borders in that sense of being able to see the possibility of what we had already imagined. Now they gave us specific steps to take towards that goal. So yeah, I mean they preach a lot on the 100, 10, 3, 1. Look at 100 properties, make 10 offers. 3 will be accepted, you buy 1.
Okay.
So that principle there really got us to where we're at today.
Now, have you looked at 100 properties yet?
Oh, over 100 properties. Yeah.
And then, so like writing offers, have you written a bunch of offers too?
Yes.
And
yeah, we've been writing offers.
Still haven't gotten 3 accepted, or?
Well, see, the thing is that where the market's at right now, well, what they tell you to do is to do that so that you can buy your investment property. So we actually shifted from buying and holding to wholesaling.
Okay.
So, but originally we were doing that, and they teach you. They don't specifically say the 1%, but they teach you that for every $100,000 that you purchase, you should be able to rent out for $1,000. Well, that doesn't apply to our market.
Yeah.
It may apply somewhere else, but not here in California.
Right.
So we had to shift that and not follow that because it didn't apply to us here. So we needed to change our strategy.
So you started coming to the club.
Yes.
The Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club, and that's where we met.
Right.
You started coming, what, maybe 4 months ago, something like that?
Yeah, it's been about 4.5 months ago.
Okay. Yeah, and you came, and I guess we sort of pride ourselves on freedom of information, where it's
Right.
like we give freely. We don't and everybody in the group is supposed to be there to kind of help everybody else, prop them up and everything.
Yes.
Have you partnered with anybody else from the group yet?
From the group, no. Well, yeah, actually with Tyler. I've spoken
Okay.
to Tyler, and we've talked quite a bit with Tyler. I've shot him what I thought might be a good deal to submit an offer and things like that, and he's been very great with just responding back. So Tyler, but in your group, I met Zach Oles,
Okay.
and he's from Cal American Homes in Claremont, and he's actually an agent / investor who has helped me tremendously to understand more of how to find the numbers, how to fine tune all of that stuff. So.
That's good. And so far, what are you like working? Like, what's your day-to-day look like?
Well, I have a full-time job, which I'm
I didn't know that.
substitute teacher at the San Bernardino School District.
Oh, cool.
So during the summer days, which we are in today, I'm just substituting my day job for my investment job.
Yeah.
And so I would need to get something routinely going between now and I go back to school, so that when I get back to school, all I'm doing is just following up.
Right.
But my day-to-day job right now is really just looking for those deals. So we're doing a lot of cold calling. We're doing a lot of driving for dollars, looking for those discounted properties, and we're just calling. We don't have a lot of money to invest in like letters and banner signs and things like that. So all we're doing is just calling. So just a lot of grind.
Yeah, and that's but that's really what it boils down
Yeah.
to. Most of the people that I know that get the best deals are out knocking on doors
Right.
and making phone calls. So you're doing the right thing. It's just a matter of keeping with it, I guess. Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
So you like a day to day. Like let's kind of like break it down to an even like more finite sort of thing.
Sure.
Like, or not finite, but I don't know, whatever. Segments. I don't know.
More detailed.
Like you wake up, you have breakfast. What
Yeah.
do you like? Is that like? Do you start like right away? You just jump right into it. You get on the computer and.
No, that's actually a bad practice to do.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because one of the things I want to do is teach people the aha moments and to recognize those aha moments. I wasn't a morning person. I
Okay.
don't know about you, but 6 o'clock in the morning to me was painful.
Okay.
Right? But now, earlier you were talking about when somebody tells you to do something, you kind of procrastinate because that's not what you want to do. That's what you've been told to do.
Exactly.
But when you find out what you need to do and you want to do that, no one has to tell you what to do. So for the last, month and a half, I've been getting up at 4:30 in the morning.
Wow.
4:30 in the morning, I do a devotional, I meditate, I pray, and then right after that, I go into reading my Bible.
Okay.
So about 5:30, I'm done. And then I go take a shower, get ready as if I'm starting my day. My commute now, instead of going to work and commuting, now my wife and I are actually working out. So we
Okay.
go for about an hour and we work out.
Nice.
So so our commute is exchanged now for workout. So about 7:30 now, I'm jumping in the shower, after that, getting my coffee, doing that, and then just going into the office. So by 8:15, I'm in the office getting ready to work.
Okay.
So in the office, I'm in there, and I already, because the night before, I already planned out what I'm going to do, and I call from 8 to 10.
Okay.
I'm making phone calls because that's about what time people are there. From 10 to about 12, I'm actually getting more leads, trying to find more leads. Then I go to lunch. Then I come back, and I actually don't do much of the investment during that middle of the day. But then from 6 to 8 p.m. is when I'm calling again. Okay. I actually get more results in my phone calls between 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. than I do in the morning.
Sure, more people are home.
Yep.
It just makes sense.
Yep.
So, okay, so then you're kind of lining up the next day.
Right.
So you can start it all over again.
Exactly.
And do it again. And if I'm hearing you right, you're taking 2 showers in the morning.
No. That was before. When I was going to work, I was taking a shower before I went to work. But now it's after my workout.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, so good. You're not wasting water.
No, I'm not. We're on a well up there. And you have we're on a well, so it's all good.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that's good. So, okay, well, it's definitely the recipe for success. You know, it's actually, it's important to sort of treat it like a job. You
Yes.
know, and actually schedule the things out during your day. A lot of people out there don't realize how important it is to do that stuff. Yes. Because you just think like, I'm self-employed. I'm going to go down to the beach today now, and I'm going to work from the beach. But that doesn't work.
Right.
You're going to be distracted by the beach. There's a lot going on there. So
yeah, when you have a job, you work your 8 hours, 6 to 8 hours or whatever. And then people like to call themselves self-employed or I'm an entrepreneur, right? And really don't understand that you're exchanging like a 6 to 8 hour job for like a 14, 20 hour job work. But people really got to take it seriously. And when you're self-employed, your boss is your time. Mm-hmm. You have to consider it as such.
Yeah, and I agree with you 100% about that. You do have to honor your time, and it's sometimes it's tough, but setting those strict things, you say like, no, I don't have meetings unless it's between whatever 10 and 2. Like it could be your time.
Yeah,
that's my time to do lunch and whatever.
Yes.
So it's important to kind of segment your day out that way. I'm glad you already have it and you have it memorized. Some people have to like look at a calendar, which means they're not really doing it.
Yeah.
But they so that's good. You're doing the calling in the morning. And when you're calling these people, what sort of leads are you tracking down right now?
So we created a bird dog program, which is a referral program for leads. So if somebody finds a distressed property, a boarded up property, they'll shoot me the address in a picture. Once they do that, then I look it up, and what we're using is Property Radar. I go through Property Radar, and that gives me the opportunity to not only look up the property details, but a lot of times allows me to skip trace the owner.
Okay.
So I'm calling them, and that's how we're creating a lot of our leads right now. So we're doing our own driving for dollars, and then we have other people driving for dollars.
So if somebody out there listening right now knows about a house that needs a lot of work,
yes,
they could call you?
Please call me.
Okay. What are they going to call? How are they going to call you? What's your phone number?
Well, they can call me at 909-362-2877. That is actually my direct number. It doesn't get saturated right now, so it's okay to call. Or just text that number. Text the address and a picture and your name. And I will actually update you as we go. So as soon as I call, whatever I find out, if the owner's there, if they didn't answer, if they did answer, I sent you actually a picture of the update that I put in my system.
Okay.
Back to the lead.
Okay, and then I'm gonna ask the question that all of them are probably thinking in their minds out there, and that is, how do they know they're going to get paid, and what are they going to get paid?
Yeah. So this is part of the integrity, because there's no official contract or anything, but I'm a man of my word. That's one of my affirmations every morning, that I am honest with integrity and a man of my word. Mm-hmm. So when a deal does go through and it's your lead, you will get paid. So the way we are paying that is we're actually paying $500 for your first lead, and we don't want you to just leave it at that. So what we do is on your next lead, you're actually going to get $750.
Wow.
On your third lead, you get $1,000. On your fourth lead, you get $1,250. On your fifth lead, you'll get $1,500, and then you'll stay at $1,500 from there.
Okay, so 5 deals.
Deals.
That's all I got to bring you. Get some $1,500 coming my way. Hey, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I can think of a lot of houses that I see on my drive home every day.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people listening out there, they probably see them too. It's that one house that, they got nothing but weeds in the front yard, or maybe they have nothing but dirt in the front yard, and maybe some weeds would actually be nice. Just have some greenery.
Yeah.
They I see these houses all the time. And me as an investor, like, I don't do what you do. I don't currently, I don't cultivate my own leads anymore.
Right.
I'm not going and knocking on doors anymore. I'm not making the phone calls. Like other people are doing that stuff now, and because I have other things I have to do, so it's like, but I kind of miss it. I miss that stuff too. Even though I never really did much of it, because I always recognized I was not that good at it. I've never been great at talking to sellers because I have a very business-oriented mind, and so for me it was always tough to like go through the 1 hour process of like getting to know them, and you have to ask all these questions about the painting on the wall that oh, that's an amazing picture. Where were you guys when you get this picture taken?
Building there before.
I want to get right down to it. I'm more of a brass tacks kind of guy, so it was. I was never great at it. So I was like, from the very beginning, I always hired people to like find the deals for me. So I had realtors looking for me. I had wholesalers out finding deals, bird dogs, just like you're talking about. And the searching I would do would be deals that were on the MLS. And I've bought more houses from banks than than actual people, because when you buy it from a bank, they're just all about the numbers too. So all they care about is, can you actually close, and is it a price we're willing to live with?
You leave the emotion aside.
Exactly.
Focus on the numbers,
Yep. And so there was definitely a heyday for those types of deals. That was like the 2009 through 2014 period, where the bank deals were the best ones out there. But right now, the best deals are being brought in are from sellers that they might have bought the home in 2009, like you were saying earlier, and they've got equity in it, but the house is still a piece of junk. And so, because they never did anything with it from 2009 when they bought it. So those are where a lot of the deals are coming from right now. Either that or something that somebody's owned a long time. Maybe mom and dad owned it, and mom and dad have passed away, and the kids are now trying to sell it. Those are some of the better deals we're getting. But oh my God, these ones are the worst. Like we've bought some terrible houses lately.
we have a deal right now in 29 Palms that is just it's a piece of work.
What's wrong with it?
Everything.
Okay.
Everything's wrong with it.
It's not even there. It's just it's just a piece of dirt.
Well, actually, it's more like just a piece of concrete slab, and it has walls on it. But people are just, I think, hesitant right now to construct. The deal's good, but it's just the project is what's gonna be a few months that people are kind of shying away from it. And plus, it's in 29 Palms.
Sure.
Where's that?
Well, it's out in the low desert. It's a little ways out there. But there's investors out there too.
There is.
The house out in 29 Palms, you say it's a slab with just some walls. I mean, is there still stucco on the walls?
No, I mean the current property that is there is good. It's and the benefit of it that it has an adjacent lot where you can actually build 2 units on it, and they can be up to like 2 twos, which is very marketable.
Really? But, are you trying to wholesale this deal right now?
Yeah.
And
we got seller financing because originally the seller wanted just all cash out, and after a couple of weeks we're like, it's not going to work. So we went back with the strategy of doing seller financing with what she needed immediately, and she said so she's willing to take 20 grand up front and be able to do interest only. I think it's like $550 a month, and with no penalty of closing out early. So it sounds more reasonable, but as a ARV, the property that sits there right now, it's about 80 grand, and she wants 70 for it.
Okay, so
that's what. But the benefit is the lot next to it is you can build.
Sure, so. And well, there's also that seller financing is a big deal, because is she wanting to finance the whole thing, or does she actually want cash?
She wants the 20 cash.
She wants 20 grand cash, so you got to give her the 20 grand, but she'll finance, so she'll carry the 50.
Correct.
And then does she want to have a specific time frame in mind on how long she wants to carry that 50?
I think 3 years.
She's going to do 3 years on it.
3 years.
That's good enough time.
Yeah.
Does she want payments, or is she just willing to hold the 50 and you pay her in 3 years?
Interest only.
So you got to make interest payments. What kind of interest does she want to earn?
I think it was like 50. It was like $500 and something a month, which came out to, I think it was like 6%, something like that.
6% interest. That's good. I mean, hey, that's that's a pretty good deal.
And that's one of the things that we learned in the coaching program is being able to do a lot of seller financing. That's a lot. What I understood too is that it's very difficult to find deals, so you got to make the deals. So when you find a property, you got to figure out how it can become a deal. Yeah, and that's kind of what we did.
Yeah, and that's a lot of it. When you only have one tool in your toolbox, right? Like let's just say you're only a flipper. If you're only flipping, you're looking for a very specific deal. But there's a lot of deals out there that could happen a lot of other ways.
Right.
And yeah, it's sometimes hard to identify those if you're looking for only one specific way of doing a deal. And that's why it's important for people to kind of hone their craft and learn the different methods and strategies for purchasing, because a lot of them involve no money out of your pocket.
Right.
And seller financing is a great way to
Correct.
get into one with no money out of your pocket. But it sounds like with her you got to put in 20,000. So that's something that you can maybe get a partner to come in if they have 20,000.
Correct.
You can go into that deal with no money out of your pocket.
Right.
So if you were to find somebody that had 20 grand, that was willing to put the $20,000 up, and you guys spend the money to construct 2 new structures next to this one and renovate the one that's there, would you stay in the deal, or do you just want to wholesale it out?
I think right now we just want to wholesale it. One of the reasons why is because we need a little bit of capital to continue to do marketing. We're not focused too much on getting the deals out. That's important, but we're more interested in bringing leads in. We need to generate leads. The more leads we have, the more offers we make, the more deals we'll have.
Right.
So if we focus too much on getting this lead or this deal out, then it's too much time and energy that we're spending on it, where we need to be spending more on filling in the pipeline.
Sure.
So we'll just wholesale it.
Okay. So, I mean, again, if anybody wants to call you about that deal, what's that number again? I forgot.
Sure. It's 909-362-2877.
And they're calling Cesar Roldan. That's the man.
Actually,
with the deals.
My phone was ringing earlier, so
oh
wonder if
man,
that's them.
Yeah. Well, whoever's calling, he's on the radio. He'll call you back. Yeah, we are really live.
Yeah, we are live.
Yeah, we're live right now. We've done the show recorded. We've pre-recorded it before.
Right.
I used to do it out of my office. We thought that would be easier, but it was kind of tough to do that sometimes, because people are like, oh man, I got to be there in the morning.
Oh, right.
I'm like, yeah, because the restaurant downstairs doesn't start playing music until 3, so we got to do it in the morning.
Right.
Otherwise we would have done it live there. It's just they start playing their music kind of loud, and it doesn't work for us, because nobody wants to hear background music on the radio.
Right. No, this is nice.
Yeah,
you're doing it live. It's cool.
Yeah, it's fun. We got the NBC logo behind us. For those of you that don't know, yes, you're listening to an NBC News radio station, the San Bernardino affiliate, KCAA. Thank you for tuning in. So going back to your investing stuff, substitute teaching, I'm glad you mentioned that, because a lot of people that get into this business are doing something else with their lives. When they're like, I don't know if they've just had it, or I don't know if it's their boss that's just been grinding them lately. Right. I don't know what it is, that they're just something breaks the straw that breaks the camel's back. Yeah. And they're like, I just want a new way of life, right? So
I like that.
Yeah. So they're like, I don't know what it is that brings them in, but I mean, substitute teaching. You obviously went to school for this. You got a credential,
right?
So
well, it's funny because I didn't get credentials. I don't have a teaching credential.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
So to work as a substitute teacher for the San Bernardino School District, all you need is a bachelor's degree.
Oh,
so
at anything?
At anything. Just a bachelor's degree. So I found out.
What'd you get yours in?
In business administration and management.
Nice.
So I found out before I graduated that we could do that. So I knew I was going to build a business. I just didn't know what business I was going to build. So when they told me I can be a substitute teacher, and now for the last 4 years, we had been going into local schools to do Bible studies during their lunchtime.
Okay.
So I had relationship with a lot of the local campuses. So what I decided to do is say, okay, well, I already got a relationship with them. I'm pretty good with the youth, so let me be a substitute teacher as a transitional job until I figure out what I'm really going to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, it'd be silly not to do something and jump into this, unless you got the money for it. Then But if not, then you keep your day job until you get really good at this.
Yeah, and sometimes it's tough. We've had people in the past that I remember this one couple. They were coming to the club. They were like hot and heavy into it, and they said, "We jumped today. We just made that big giant leap. We both quit our jobs."
Wow.
And we're going to commit ourselves to this, and because we have 8 months of savings, so we're going to generate deals. Nothing happened. 8 months later, I'm getting calls from them asking for me to loan them money. I'm like, no, I told you not to quit your job. Are you kidding me? No, I'm not here for that. That's not what I do. I don't lend people money to
survive.
Yeah, to survive. That's not what I'm here for. I give you guys tools. You can use those tools, but whatever. You can lead a horse to water, right?
Well, true story is that after this summer, I wasn't planning to go back to school. I was like, you know what? I got this. I know what I need to do. I just got to grind at it and do it, right? And I said, after the summer, I know that during the summer, I'm going to get enough deals. All I need is 2-3 deals. And then I'm good for the rest of the year, and then we can just keep grinding. But being smart about it, I told my wife, you know what? I'll give you 1 more year in the school.
Sure.
I'll give you one more year so that we still have that, that safety net and continue to do that as we learn more and things like that. So I decided to stay another year. So I'll be there 18, 19. So.
Yeah, cool. And then you'll, but, obviously still trying to pursue this because,
Oh, yeah.
Fortunately, school gets out earlier in the day, right? What have you done by 3:30 or so?
3:45, yeah.
3:45. So, you still get that 6 to 8 o'clock window where you can still be making phone calls.
Yeah.
And, it actually, some of the people I've seen succeed in this business and actually grow them faster are people that had to adapt in the beginning where they had a job and they had to kind of balance this life with that life.
Right.
And, they're able to make these things work on a schedule.
Right.
Whereas people that kind of come in that have a very loosey-goosey lifestyle, which is kind of how I came into the business. I was not structured by any means, and it took a while for me to learn structure and to learn the importance of it and actually stick to a structure. And, that's something I had to learn because I was not born with that gift. I was very unorganized in the very beginning. Now I'm like, completely anal retentive about organization because, it just saves you so much time down the road. I'm a believer now. But I've seen people that, they make it work with the job that they're in right now and balancing home life and all this stuff.
Right.
They manage to eke out a couple hours a day to be able to focus on the business. And then they continue that even after they don't need to work anymore. And what you end up finding is that you're hiring all these other people to do all the things that you need done as opposed to trying to do it all yourself. And so many people we see come into the business, they try to do this all on their own. And it's a dangerous way to do it because, unless you are really good at every single thing that's involved in a real estate transaction, you're not going to succeed. I can promise you it's not going to work out so well. You need to have a support team that you work with,
The primary support that I advise anybody to get is definitely spousal support and family support. Because if you don't have that support at home, then how are you ever going to get started, right? So I tell my wife, like, from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m., like, I need that block to just focus on the phone calls.
Right.
That was when I was working. So when I was working, I actually started driving for dollars in the morning. I would leave 30 minutes before.
Wow.
And I will start driving there. And then I tell my wife on my way home, hey, I'm going to be 30 minutes later for dinner because I'm going to be driving for dollars. I'm going to be in this area. And we'll come home with some leads and just start calling them. But that support. And then, you start getting other support. So what I heard that works real well is focus on what you like to do and what you're good at so that you can start delegating the things that you don't like to do because sometimes, you tend to procrastinate those things.
Absolutely, yeah. There's a lot in this business I don't like doing, so I try to do as little of it as possible.
Right.
Just because paperwork gets really annoying. I don't like doing it. I don't think anybody loves paperwork except for, possibly our transaction coordinator within our office. I think she actually loves paperwork, so... we're lucky to have her.
Yeah, there you go. People do love doing it.
I suppose. I don't know how they do. I don't know how she loves it, but she does, and she gets paid well for it, so that's good, too. I mean...
Don't try to understand it. Just delegate
it. Just let it happen, right? Just, I like your attitude towards it. Yeah, just, let it happen. Yeah. No, she's great. We love having her around. Very good at what she does. But, we definitely, that's one thing I hate doing is the paperwork.
Yeah.
I've said it before. I'm not huge on talking to the sellers. I don't really. I'm not the guy that's going to relate to them and cry with them and all the stuff that you. I mean, but there's people that are great at this stuff. You've met Jim Keller.
I did
at the club. He's Jim's great at this. He's good at that rapport. Him and his wife are both good at it. So if you ever get them both knocking on your door, you're selling your house to them. They're just that good. So
but to sit with them, get some pointers.
Yeah, you should. They're good people to sit with. They've got a lot of stuff to share. That's kind of the purpose of the club too.
Yeah,
it's another support system. Right. And I even said it last night because we, for those of you that know, we do the big monthly meeting on the fourth Wednesday. So that was last night.
Yeah.
So you missed it, but there'll be another one in July. So fear not, we will be back, and we're back at the Mission Inn.
Yes,
we're going to be back at the Mission Inn next month. So a lot of people have been kind of like, we like Loft 84, but we really like the Mission Inn a lot better. So when enough people say it to you, you got to just sort of go with your audience on it. Even though we love Loft 84, I love the owners, like they're great people. But if everybody's saying we got to go back to the Mission Inn, you kind of have to just do what the do what the client wants. And so So we're going back.
Yeah. On that note, what you did yesterday was actually very powerful too. I don't know if you noticed it, but even Steven said that just bringing up people to give kind of their testimony, and we call it testimony back, the church, when you come in and you allow somebody to kind of give their personal experience. I mean, that's probably one of the most powerful tools that anyone can get, whether you're investing or changing your life or moving forward. But that was awesome because it impacted me, and I know impacted a lot of people there, just to see Thomas 2 years, and then in the last 6 months he got 6 deals. Like that's what it's about.
Yeah, and Thomas, he's been on the show before. He's coming back again soon.
Yeah, he told me, I've been there twice.
He's I mean, he's been killing it, and people deserve that level of recognition. I brought Tyler up. He just closed a wholesale deal where he made. Well, I don't know if he wants me to say it on the radio. He let me say it on the stage last night. But he made a very nice wholesale fee on that deal.
Yeah, he sure did.
And called up Andy. He put together a very creative deal. I called up Todd and Danny. They got their deal out in Palm Springs. They have a buyer coming in on. Jim come up and talk about a flop, a deal that they did that they're going to make. At the end of it, they're going to make $300, but they've been in it for 16 months. This deal was kind of a nightmare for them, and he came up and talked about it, which a lot of people came and talked to me about that, which I thought was interesting. I thought a lot of people would talk to me about Thomas because Thomas to me is like he's the real grinded out story, where he just persevered and did it. But people came and talked to me about Jim. They're saying like, man, I can't believe Jim, who's this guy does tons of deals. Yeah. I can't believe Jim had a deal that he lost money on, or it didn't go as planned.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, if you heard the conversation between me and Jim and Steve and Jim before he bought that deal, we told him you're going to lose money on this deal, and he didn't lose money, so he can rub it in our faces. He didn't lose money, but it's kind of important for a lot of people to hear that. This is a deal that had a lot of problems that they were not prepared to deal with, and as soon as they eradicated one problem, another problem popped up, and then 2 problems showed up right after that. So it was powerful. And I think that's going to become a more regular thing for the club because
that should be a segment because again it was powerful. I think just the fact of knowing that no one is immune to that. And Thomas used the word yesterday that we tend to use a lot too. It's community. If you don't have that community, if there's wisdom in having a community. That I may not see something that you see, because a lot of times we get so zeroed in on the deal and what the outcome's going to be, that we need that community to kind of look at a peripheral vision to see like, what, it's not going to be good.
And it's funny because most of the people that are like seniors in the group, people that have been coming for a long time, they've been investors for a long time, they come on a regular basis. And that's because this business, this industry, like we need our support with each other at the higher levels too. So we're all talking to each other. We talk to all these people that are at the club, the mentors, on a regular basis, where we're discussing deals we have going on. We're bouncing ideas off each other. This happens because
you're asking questions too.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I don't know everything. Right. I was actually telling somebody last night, like I don't honestly consider myself to be an expert in any field of this business. That's good. I know a lot about this business. I do. I've been doing it a while, but I don't feel like I'm the one you should go to for every single thing.
Gotcha.
I know enough to be dangerous. Sure. I mean, it's gotten me here.
Yeah.
But, there are people out there that I'm intimidated by, with their knowledge level. I mean, there's people like Bruce Norris is one person that comes to mind, where Bruce, on an economic level, he just has a much higher level of understanding of the economic machine. And I feel like I have a very basic version of that in my own mind, but to a lot of people, that comes across from me like I'm intimidating to people about it because, I do know some stuff, but it's not. I don't feel like I'm anywhere in comparison to Bruce. And then there's another guy named Bill Tan. Bill Tan's just this guy knows every single angle you can possibly do on a deal. He's somebody that I look up to and think, man, this guy, he's who you want to learn from. A guy named Mick Blackwell. He comes to the coffee thing a lot of times. Mick.
Oh yeah, Mick. Yeah.
You've talked to Mick. Yeah. Mick is, this guy's a genius. He owns a ton of rental property. Very nice guy, and he's totally willing to spend his time with you and walk you through a deal. And he's a mentor to a lot of people. He's a mentor to Bruce Norris. I mean, he's an older guy. He's been around for a while, so he's trained some of the bigger real estate investors in Southern California. A guy named Mike Cantu was like one of his proteges for a while. But I mean, these are some people that exist in the industry that I'm intimidated by, and I'm like, they're experts.
Yeah.
Like I'm a mediocre, I don't know what you call me. I'm an intermediate level guy or something. I don't know.
But that's the beauty about community, though, is being able to not know everything, but know people who do.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty.
It is, and it's and it's cool because I'm at a place now where I can start giving out my knowledge.
Yeah.
I've been doing it now I've been giving it away for like the last 5 years, I guess, where I put myself in this position where I can help people get started in the industry. So it's cool to meet people that haven't been doing it yet, and it's actually cool to hear your story because you're new at it, but you're doing a lot of things right in the very beginning. And I talked to so many people that are doing everything wrong, and like it's hard to pick you apart right now because you're doing everything I would tell people to be doing. So like just keep doing it.
Yeah. Okay.
And it'll happen. That deal in 29 Palms might become the next your first deal, and then next month we'll bring you on stage and talk about Cesar got his first deal.
There
everyone but it's cool. I like that part. It was fun talking to everybody. I was worried at first that like we were going over time because I value everybody's time, right? Because I value my own. So I felt like, oh man, we're going like 30 minutes on this thing. I'm only supposed to do 20 minutes, but nobody seemed to care.
No, I'm telling you, because it was that powerful. It was good. I don't know how it was received from your point of view, but from us over here, it was powerful.
Yeah, it was. I loved it. So I'm totally doing it from now on.
Yeah,
I'm calling it accolades. We're just
accolades.
Yep, accolades. Where people are going to count. We're going to give them their awards, show them to the crowd, and it really introduces them to everybody because for all the new people that come, they don't know who the players are in the room and who you should get to know. So, here's Tyler. He just made a ton of money on a wholesale. Here's Andy. He put together a deal where he's making $510 a month on a cash flow, and that's going to continue in perpetuity.
Right.
Like that's a great deal.
Yeah.
There's Jim who had a bad experience, and he can help you learn the lesson that he learned on that deal. Which was to maybe trust his community a little bit more, and not think he's just some maverick that can go out on his own and make a ton of money on a deal that didn't make sense to begin with, Jim.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, it's sometimes you need to hear those stories from people to kind of know that we're all human. We make mistakes too, and so we're definitely keeping that going for sure.
Yeah, I'll be good.
And then you're doing cash flow, so this is going to be fun.
It's really going to be fun. Yeah. I really want to implement a lot of the educational in there. So in the middle of the game, we're going to take about 20 minutes to bring somebody to say something. Like I know Steven was looking forward to coming in, and he just said somebody host it, somebody take care of it, where I can just come in and do my thing and then move on. So we really want to do that. We really want to have people leave with some valuable information in their hands. Not the game alone, it's a lot, but my purpose is really to just help people understand, get further, enrich their journey.
Yeah, and there's some good people that come because the last time I went to the cash flow game, Andy was there. Andy's a great person to play cash flow with. He hosts a cash flow game also out in the Coachella Valley.
Right.
But he's real familiar with those creative strategies, and he's real good about mentoring and coaching you, and not being so in your face about it. But there's also some other good people that come to that don't make it to the other meetings because they can't. They just scheduling doesn't work out for them. So. There's a guy named George. He comes a lot, I know, which we don't see him much at the big monthly meetings because he's got other things going on.
Right.
But he comes to the cash flow a lot. I don't know if he went last month or not, but
I'm not sure. I know Matt comes often. He's a big supporter of that. And but yeah,
Matt's a good guy. Very knowledgeable.
Very knowledgeable.
Knows a lot. And it's funny because he looks so young, but he's actually older than me. Yeah, I point that out all the time. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah. But yeah, he's a smart guy.
He sure is.
Very good person to talk to. So I guess for those of you people out there listening that want to kind of come into these meetings and get to know people like Cesar, get to know myself, a bunch of the other people in the group, go to meetup.com. That's where we host. We have like the meetings all listed up there. It's called the Inland Empire Real Estate Investment Club. We are now the second largest investment club by membership on meetup.com. In Southern California, actually, I think in the entire state of California.
Nice.
We're the second largest. So, and we just passed. San Diego was the one that we just passed up. And it's kind of funny because these groups have been around longer than us.
Oh, nice. And
we're the new kids on the block. We came in 4 years ago with the Real Estate Investment Club, and our first meeting we ever had an audience of 4 people. So it was like, kind of a shocker because it was expensive to put that little thing on, and eventually it kind of grew and grew and grew, and now here we are. We have just under 4,000 members in the meetup group, and it's amazing,
Yeah.
really. But the next milestone will be passing up the Orange County group,
Yeah.
which has like 8,000 something members. So it'll be a little while before we pass them.
We could do it.
But yeah, we could do it
Yeah.
with your support. If you just go to meetup.com and join the group, and come out and check out the meetings. We have a whole calendar of events there. So the big monthly meeting is always the fourth Wednesday of the month. That's the only meeting we charge for because we have to pay for the venue, but it's like $30. It's not.
And there's food too. You guys.
We do feed you.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's well worth it.
Yeah, and the tacos. This was the last month of the Taco Man, which is unfortunate because they're really good tacos. But we're moving back to the Mission Inn next month, and honestly, their food is really good there. So it's going to be good food. But don't come for the food. Come for the networking. You know?
The knowledge that comes out of from you guys is just awesome.
I appreciate
and the networking
that.
is good too. Yep.
Absolutely.
The quality of people, that's what I kind of commented today. The quality of people that go there to network with is just, it's outstanding. It's awesome.
And, for those people, too, that want to just kind of dip their toe in but don't want to commit to the $30 charge,
right.
Come down to the coffee meetup.
The coffee meetups is awesome.
We do that the Saturday before the big monthly meeting, and that's, it's open, free networking. Just come on in. It's from 8 till 10 in the morning on the Saturday before the fourth Wednesday of the month. I know it's confusing. That's why we have the calendar on the site.
Go to Meetup.
Yeah, go to meetup.com. That's where it's all posted. Yeah, the coffee's cool because it's free. You don't have to buy coffee. It would be nice if you did. I know they appreciate it when we're taking up their space. Just buy a cup of coffee or, a donut or something. They like
burritos
that.
are good.
They do. They have some great breakfast burritos. And they just started doing those. They have these Eggs Benedict things, which are crazy good too. I'm on a diet, so I gotta, I'm like, all I'm thinking about is food, But yeah, the coffee meetup's cool because you meet a lot of people that can't make it to the monthly meeting. Also, kind of like the cash flow game where. Cash flow, we're doing on a Wednesday, but for some reason they can't come on the fourth Wednesday.
Right.
The Saturday ones for people that I can't leave, my house during the week. I got to be in bed by 8 o'clock at night. So, they're the people that come out on the Saturday morning coffee. So you get to meet a lot of the people that are doing this along with a full-time job. So you can kind of meet them and see how they're doing it.
Yep.
And they are. There's some people there that are doing some surprising things.
Yep.
So yeah, come check us out. Go to meetup.com. Any final thoughts you got going on before we wrap up? Because we only got a few minutes left here. So,
yeah, I mean, if you ever thought about doing real estate, all you have to do is just get doing it. Just start doing it. Go to the meetups. Go start meeting people. I think that's the most important thing is just meet people, and start on this journey. My journey is really to teach other people that they can go on the journey themselves. I've always said that imagination is the best thing to time travel. I think Tesla said that, or somebody else said that. That imagination is the best thing to time travel because you can actually see yourself in the final outcome. All you have to do is just now take the little steps that you need to do to get to that point. And if you can envision it, then it's possible for you. You have every capability inside of you to fulfill whatever it is that you can imagine. For us, it's really making a difference in the Inland Empire, making a difference in San Bernardino. We can envision ourselves doing that, and we will accomplish it. But whatever you want to do, whatever your success is, because success is not the same thing for everybody, whatever your success is, you can accomplish it. You just have to start taking the necessary steps and surround yourself by people who are going to get you there and help you to get there, not drag you down.
Oh, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. That's a very, very nice thing to say. I'm, glad you said that. And it's, you had said, oh man, it just left my brain.
Okay.
I'm getting older. I'm almost as old as Matt Tandy. I can't believe it. No. Yeah. So we got like another minute left. So, we got to talk about something for about a minute.
Okay.
What do you, let's do some quick fire.
Okay.
I don't know what that means, but let's do it. Let's. What kind of deals are you typically looking for? Like what area are you looking in?
So one of the things that we do is we don't look for deals because we're not buying our deals ourselves. We're buying it for somebody else. So what we specialize in is looking deals for the buyer. So what does the buyer need, and that's what we look for. We don't look for something that we're going to keep. If the deal, it's in our backyard and we can jump on it, we'll keep it. But mostly we're just finding, like, what do you need? We'll find whatever it is that you're looking for.
Yeah, but you're looking for ugly stuff, I'm sure.
Yep.
Ugly stuff.
That's where the discounts are. So
right. And they can call you. What's your number again?
It is 909-362-2877. Find that distressed house. One of the things is if the mailbox is full, if there's a red piece of paper on the window, take a picture, get the address, send it to me.
And then you can do it from there. Awesome. Yep. Well, thank you, Cesar, for showing up, man. We really appreciate you coming out. And thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you all again next week, Thursday at 4 p.m. right here on KCAA. Have a good week, everyone.
Take care. Guys. God bless.